So the Indiana Fever faced the Aces yesterday, and Christie Sides coached a pretty rough game. She honestly coached a pretty rough game, I'm not going to lie. And I will always say this is, I actually don't think Christie Sides, this is the one thing when I was saying, like, I don't actually think she knows nothing about the sport of basketball, because you can tell she actually game plans pretty well. Because there's a lot of times where the Fever have looked very good early in games, and then once the other team figures them out, they struggle, and that kind of happened there against the Aces. Either way, there was some very, very strange calls she made. Before we get on to, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're 92 subscribers away from 16.2k, and we're trying to hit that by the end of the day. But what I will say is, I was very, very confused with the decision to start Katie Lou Samuelson. Like, first of all, I think her, like, it's really, really weird because she goes from playing people. There's no set rotation. It is literally like she's winging it. She's legitimately winging it. Like, Katie Lou Samuelson had been playing. She'd played 4 minutes 2 games earlier. She had been really good. She was really good against the Sky, and it was benched for like the whole fourth quarter. And then she played 4 minutes against the Storm. And then she did all right against the Mercury, and then goes and plays 27 minutes last night. Like, if you're looking at Katie Lou Samuelson's game log, 20, 15, 4, 18, 28. And, like, she was not good yesterday. That's the worst part about it, is that, like, when she's playing well, she gets pulled. And when she's not playing well, she gets left on the floor. It doesn't make sense. Just like same with Christie Wallace. When Christie Wallace is playing well, she gets pulled. She played 12 minutes yesterday. In the first half, it was probably the best she's played in a long time, regardless of the fact she only scored 2 points. It was a nice ISO. But she'd been playing all right. She was good in the first half. And she just didn't play. And then she suddenly just got benched. I get it. I get throwing Christie Wallace on the bench. She didn't deserve to start. She deserved to be benched. And then again, Erica Wheeler, like, playing her as the point guard. Erica Wheeler, if she's just off the ball, she's not that bad. Playing her 6 minutes a game, fine. I would say, even rest Caitlin Clark a few more minutes. Don't play Caitlin Clark 38 minutes. You can rest Caitlin Clark 6 minutes. If you're going to play Wheeler 6 minutes, rest Caitlin Clark 6 minutes. Because when Caitlin Clark and Erica Wheeler are on the floor, all you're doing is tiring out Caitlin Clark and making your team worse on defense. It's just really weird with some choices that she made. Another really weird choice was, in a game crying out for Lexi Hull, she didn't play Lexi Hull. Like, she talks about defense, but the team doesn't have anyone that can play defense. Obviously, you went and cut your best defender. It is what it is. You brought in Lexi Hull. You have Lexi Hull there, who can at least shoot the ball and play defense a little bit. There is no reason for Lexi Hull to be playing 0 minutes in that game. In a game where you were getting cooked by guards, there is no reason for Lexi Hull to play 0 minutes. There's no reason. And I understand bringing in Katie Lou in certain games as stretch 4. I think Katie Lou is a much better defender than Alyssa Smith. I know she's foul prone. She's a better defender than Alyssa Smith. But, and she does run the floor. I get it. But Katie Lou's been so much better at the 4 this year than at the 3. I don't understand why she was a starter. I really don't. Like, I think that bringing her in as a backup for Alyssa Smith, that would work. That would work. But Christie Sides, she just seems to be all over the place. She seems to absolutely be all over the place. Because every game is a brand new, is a completely brand new tactic. Her rotations. Lexi Hull could play 17 minutes one game and 0 the next. Katie Lou Samuelson can play 4 minutes a game and then 2 games later play 30 minutes a game. In a game. Like, it makes no sense. And the worst part is that she plays 4 minutes. And in the 4 minutes she plays, she gets a defensive stop, runs the floor, gets a fast break. She gets whipped off the rest of the game. And then in the game, where she plays 27 minutes, she can't hit a shot. Turns the ball over nearly every time she touches it. And then, just starts hacking. It's just so confusing watching Christie Sides coach basketball. It's so confusing because I genuinely don't think she has any idea what to do during the course of a game. I think she has a game plan coming in, and no matter what happens, I think no matter what the other team does, her game plan is staying the same. I think she had a game plan against the Aces. It worked. She had a good game plan. Her game plan of how they came into that game was smart. It really was. So she has a game plan of what she wants to do. And then When the game plan works, great. When the game plan doesn't work, like it worked at the start, and then the Aces adapted, and it stopped working. But she didn't adapt. Her plan was to play Katie Lou at the 3, who can't play defense. You literally went out with a team with 4 of the worst defenders in the WNBA. Like 1, 2, 3, and 4. There is not a worse defending team than that. You couldn't guard anyone with that team, let alone the Aces. And I kind of understand it, being like, okay, let's just go and blitz them. We're not going to play defense anyway. Let's go and blitz them. But when it's not working, you got to do something different. Like, Wallace isn't an insultingly bad defender. She's not a good defender. She's not an insultingly bad defender. But Lexi Hull is a mediocre defender. And look, I'm sorry, on this team being a mediocre defender, you may as well be prime Kawhi Leonard if you're a mediocre defender on this team. But I just don't get it. It's just really weird coaching. Like, why did Demiris Dantas see the floor? Like, she genuinely looks like someone who has won a competition to be on a WNBA player. And look, I get it. Dantas she's been good. She's been a good player. She is in her 30s. She has not been in the WNBA in 2 years. She's coming off an MCL tear. Why are you paying her $100,000 a year? Why did you cut Celeste Taylor for Dantas? Why did you bring somebody into the team who offers nothing? Saxton's better than her because at least Saxton can play a bit of defense. I genuinely had someone argue saying you've never watched Dantas play, that she's actually a 2/3 and she's like an athletic center. And I'm like, she can't move. She can't move. We watched enough practice tape of her. She couldn't move. We saw her yesterday. Like, she genuinely looks lost on the floor. She looks like, again, she's had a great professional basketball career. She's going to continue to play overseas. She's going to make a hell of a lot of money out of basketball. She's had a great basketball career. But at this point right now, she is not nearly the level to see the floor. And especially when you're icing Lexi Hull for an entire game. You're icing Lexi Hull, the 6th pick in the draft a couple of years ago, for the entire game in order to get her on the floor. Like, what? Like, just stop. Don't just take Dantas out of the rotation. Start with your 2 bigs. You play Temi 15 minutes in that rotation. Give Katie Lou 10 minutes a game, 5 minutes at the 3, 5 minutes at the 4. Give Wallace 15 minutes a game. Because look, I've said it. If Wallace is a bench player who plays 10 to 15 a game, she's fine. She's just not a starter. And look, I don't know what the hell you're going to do with that starting small forward spot. Like, you're paying, even in future, because obviously Katie Lou's on damn near max. And you're paying Dantas. But I don't know what you're going to do with that starting 3 spot. But for the way the team works, look, it probably should be Lexi Hull. Like, look, I don't think Lexi Hull's good. I just think she is a mediocre defender. Which, again, you just need a lineup where you don't have the worst 1 through 4 defensively in the entire WNBA. You just need that lineup. But it's just so confusing watching game by game Christie Wallace try to change the identity of the team, change every lineup, and then refuse to adapt once the team figures out their A game. Like, genuinely, I've always said it. Christie sides, she plays a different style every single game. She has a plan A, and her plan B is plan A but worse.